you're just joining us, this is Breakfast Daily right here at Citi TV, and then we are going to be talking on, the issue that happened, the issue that we talked about yesterday. This is the community development segment. So we're going all the way to Bimbilla. Like we reported yesterday, there had been issues of, perennial flooding, and we even spoke to, a rep from NADMO, and he had so much to say. But then there's an update on this story. So just check out the report, and we'll be right back, to talk about it.
About 120 homes were destroyed, whilst about 800 people were affected. Schools and other government structures were not spared. When Citi News interacted with some of the affected persons, they indicated that there has been no support after the unfortunate incident. Assembly members of the most affected areas tell Citi News all has not been well and are making a passionate appeal for support for the victims.
As an assembly, what I will appeal is that I can only solicit for a support from the municipal assembly to MCE, to NADMO, government and all NGOs to come to our aid in support of the victims who are affected.
They don't have a conducive place or a comfortable place to sleep. It's a very difficult and a worrying situation to the electoral area and the opinion leaders. And me as the assemblyman, together with the chief of the area, we have able to come together maybe to get some places. Some of the houses are there, they don't have we are able to arrange places for them in different places.
Some schools were also badly affected, and classes are now being held under trees. The Municipal Director of Education for Nanumba North Municipality, Mr. Paul Kwame Agbevo, bemoaned the situation and called for swift response to address the situation.
You see, I've gathered the teachers to see what exactly they have done. But before meeting them here, I went around to see, and I saw some of the children under trees, some of the upper primary occupying the 3 classrooms. You asked them to come. And so I was impressed when I saw blackboard constructed over the weekend. That's what I told them to do, and I was so impressed. And I realized that some lessons went on this morning. And so far, that is what I've come to hear from them the way forward. Because some of the schools under tree are too close to the main road, and it will not augur well for effective classroom activity. So I will let them move it.
The Municipal Chief Executive for Nanumba North, Honorable Abdullah Yakub, also tells Citi News his outfit is working to ensure that the affected persons get help.
Our priority now is looking at how to put back the schools that have been ripped off so that the children can continue their education. So that we look at the other private homes, what can be done to assist them. Because these are trying moments. This is predominantly an agricultural community. Majority of those whose houses are affected are into agric. This is the time they are preparing their lands to go into planting their maize and other dishes, and this has also come.
And that's the story.
Yeah.
I'm actually very sad because...
So now we have 120 homes that have been destroyed.
Yeah.
That's a lot of homes.
That's a lot of homes. And for the fact that we spoke to, a NADMO rep yesterday, and he said that they visited there, and these people are still saying that no one has come to visit them, it's a problem.
Yeah. No, I mean, we, as a nation, we need to figure out what it is that who are we really and what are we really about? Because at the end of the day, you find that it's the most vulnerable that are constantly being exposed, the most vulnerable that are constantly at the mercy of the elements, you find that people are, there's a rainstorm, people are in their homes and they're locked up and they are feeling safe and they're okay. But others have this kind of exposure where the winds blow away roofs, flooding takes away people's property. And if your life is spared, you are fortunate, you know. But we have a victim, one of the victims on the line. This is Abubakar Mutaru. Good morning, Abubakar.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you so much.
All right, can you give us a sense of or a description of what has happened to you and around you?
Actually, there was a storm that was on Friday evening that actually came to bring down several structures, the ripping of several homes of their roofs, and then in fact, so many things have been destroyed. Several homes have been brought down. We have been rendered homeless. So many people are now passing with family and then friends. And then we actually appealed earlier on once news came for support from government and then other organizations that are willing to support should come to our aid in order to get us back to our residence. And then others who are also or who have gone in for other commitments to come and then put up their structures also be back to life.
Yeah.
This is just what happened.
Okay. Have you, are you staying with friends and family yourself?
Seriously, in my case, I am not staying in the structure for now. I am still working on it.
Yeah.
I am not staying with family.
Okay.
I am in the family house. I am in my family house.
Okay.
But others who have not been fortunate to be in their residence that have been ripped off or brought down are currently paying with others.
Okay. Now, where were you when the storm came? Were you at the family house?
Yes, please. Yes,
oh, okay. So your family house is safe?
Yes, please.
Okay.
But it is my structure that I have put up that has been ripped off.
That has been ripped off.
Yeah,
okay.
Brought down, certain parts
okay.
brought down.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, as somebody who has lived in the north before, but I mean, it's been many years. I'm curious about something. My mind automatically goes to strong winds. Is that what brought down the structures?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. Now, talk to us about NADMO. Has there been any sign of NADMO in the vicinity? People coming to check on the situation or anything like that?
Yes, actually, NADMO has gone round to check. They have done some listing of affected homes and structures.
Okay.
But actually, it is the support that we are yet to see. We haven't seen any support of any kind. So people are actually stranded this time. People are actually worried because times are hard.
Yeah.
People trying to put together items, especially in this period at the north. We are almost entering the lean season. That is the end of already harvested products into new brought market products.
Yes.
So a lot of people don't have anything to rely on currently. It is only those who have been fortunate, having certain a bit of products with them that have sold to start working on their structures in order to get them back.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, now, Abubakari, what do you do yourself? What do you do?
I am a farmer.
You're a farmer. Okay.
Yes, a student farmer.
A student farmer. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yes.
So you are in school and you are farming.
Yes.
Is that what you mean? Okay.
Yes,
Now, the rains are about to set in. That this is the very beginning of your rainy season, isn't it?
Yes.
So how do you see the next few months, considering that, I mean, in the north, you have what, 4 months of rain? Streets?
Yes.
4 months of rain, yeah. If this is what is happening at the beginning, how do you see the next few months?
Actually, this isn't characteristic of rains in the north, actually.
Okay.
So it came as a surprise and as a shock and unexpected. So everybody was confused as to what kind of rain had fell.
Yeah. Okay.
So actually, this hasn't been characteristic of rains in the north. So we do hear of flooding and all that, but with strong wind and all that hasn't been characteristic of rains at the north. Yes.
Okay. All right. So it seems like it's a little more aggressive than it usually is.
Yes, please. Yes,
okay. All right. Fantastic. Yeah. Well, I mean, we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. But what we do is we're still appealing to philanthropists. We will appeal to benevolent organizations that are willing to support. To come to our aid. Actually, people are in dire need for support. So we appealing for support from any angle that will come to either augment those who are doing little to get their structures back, and then to support or bring up those who have been crushed to the ground, actually.
Yeah. Mr. Mukhtaru, when you say support, you're talking financials or you're talking, things?
Financial, material wise, that will just help to bring up, structural wise, we know what it needs to bring up a structure. We'll need zinc, we'll need all the roofs and all that finances to bring, take in manpower to work on it, and all that would be needed, sir.
Right. Mr. Abubakar, I just want to ask, what will be the immediate need of the people that were affected, apart from, the finances? What's the immediate need?
Actually, immediate need would be the materials and then the financial support, if any. Because people need to get back to their residence.
Okay.
Some would like to see their structures brought back to life.
Right.
So actually, the immediate need would be the support of any kind, material or finance.
Right.
Madam.
And for those that are affected, were they able to actually retrieve some of their belongings?
Oh, some have. Others partially. They have partially. Somehow, others could not come up with anything because people who had food stuff in the rooms that have been ripped off, the rain actually poured water into those items. Imagine cassava and then raining into it. Water being poured into cassava and all that. You can imagine what you get out of that, madam.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
So actually, people have made away certain items, but it is nothing to say we are appreciative of, actually.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome, madam.
Right. Yeah, so we're speaking with Mukhtaru Abubakari, who was a victim of the rainstorm that took place a few days ago. For me, the picture's a little clearer. This is just the beginning of the rainy season.
Yes.
Right. They have 4 clear months more to go. But as he said, this was more like a freak storm. Do you see? It's not a regular kind of rain and all that. But I still hold the line and hold the position that I did yesterday, talking about the need for us to have a long-term intervention for citizens of Ghana who live in the northern parts of Ghana.
In the savannah areas.
The savannah areas. Let's go into... There are trees that do well in the savannah.
Right.
Like acacia, cashew, and all of. Let's go into aggressive... Mango trees, another example. True. You do very well in the savannah, in arid areas. Let's go into aggressive planting of these. It will act as a natural windbreaker, as well as commercial subsistence, food for subsistence living, as well as a commercial or cash crop for people to be able to sell off the mangoes, and sell off the cashew and all of that, and do business with it. It's like, it's a win-win all round, But for me, the fact that every year we come back to this same situation where windstorms, as part of the rainstorm, is ripping off roofs. It happens in Tamale, it happens in other cities in the north, it happens. I mean, one of the things, I don't remember, but I haven't heard much of this happen in a place like, let's say, Bolgatanga. But it's interesting because when you go to Bolgatanga as well, you notice that the terrain is slightly different in terms of, I see more trees in Bolgatanga.
It's a lot more green.
I'm hesitant to say there are more trees,
Right.
but when you drive into Bolgatanga, you notice more trees, So maybe this is what we need to figure out as well,
Right,
to make sure that all these areas that have challenges, when there are settlements, it should be part of our psyche. Plant trees. It will take 3, 4, 5 years, but eventually you have your windbreak, that will protect the houses.
And interestingly, he said, like, they always know that, yes, it's going to rain at a certain period, but this is the first time it's, this kind of, rain is happening.
Yeah.
So that also just goes to tell me that, yes, the effects of climate change is happening. Things are changing.
Yeah.
Unexpected kind of rains.
Yeah. Freak storms. So
we really need to take, the whole climate situation seriously, even with the
I
trees,
think that
everything.
I think that as a country, we talk a good game, right? And so we say, yes, Green Ghana project and all of that, and we'll invest, millions into it. The question is, what's the impact?
Yeah.
What's the impact? There was a time a few years ago where we went to plant, I don't know, like 1 million seedlings or something, and it was in the northern part of Ghana, and they say fire came to burn the seedlings.
Wow.
I mean, honestly, it's like we are not serious about saving our nation, Yeah, well, we've been joined also on the line by the Assemblyman of Kakui electoral area, that is Isa Al-Hassan Mobila. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. What are some of the interventions that the Assembly is considering for the victims of this rainstorm?
Thank you very much, Master. Let me first of all thank Almighty Allah for this opportunity. The Assembly had made or invest a lot of effort to ensure that the victims are able to get a convenient place to sleep or to rest. They have directed the NADMO, Nanumba North District Assembly NADMO, to go around all the affected people to assess the damage, to see how best they can put their heads together to ensure that they can able to organize something for them so that their houses, they can redeem them back to their normal situation.
Okay.
That is what the Assembly is doing currently.
Okay. Now, does the Assembly have the funding to support NADMO? Because NADMO always needs funding from other institutions. So that's why I'm asking the question. Does the Assembly have the funding to help NADMO do its work?
The answer is definitely no, because currently, as we speak, the Assembly is short of funds. And according to them, they are also saying that after they have done their assessment to know the damage, they can also write letters to other donors like the MP, so that the MP too can also ensure that whatever that he can able to invest in it, to ensure that these people have getting a good place. That is what the MP is saying currently. But for funds now to support NADMO, I don't think it's there. But they can assist funds from the MP and the other NGOs to ensure that they can able to put the people in the right place.
Okay. Just a couple of other quick questions. Now, we spoke to a victim of the storm a few minutes ago, and he says that this storm is not usual, it's not normal. It's actually like something that hasn't often happened.
Yes.
What's your experience?
Our experience is that the rainstorm No, but this is not the first time it has happened. It has happened in other places like Yamba, Bencheratanga, Bimbilla, and a lot. And what we are seeing is that people need education. They need education and sensitization so that how to put up their structure to ensure that all these things must not happen, especially the lights, the pools that they have erected.
Okay.
If in my area, for instance, what happened, the building, the roofing sheet was put into the light pool, and which the light, all the grounds were fire. You understand? So it's high time that the lights, the first, previous, when they erected the pools, they were not laid out and other things. They just erected it somehow, anyway.
Yeah.
So this time, the way the rainstorms and the buildings are, it's time for the VRA or the needful to also ensure that they restructure their pools to prevent all those things. If not that, in future, the disaster that is going to happen, we cannot be able to quantify it.
Right. And sir, you just talked about people needing education, but are there any plans of creating awareness within the community about issues like this?
Yes, as far as this thing has happened now, it has given us the clue, the upper hand to ensure that we can able to table it with our sample and NCC so that we can able to do proper education so that the people will know what is going on in future. If not that, it will affect them largely.
All right.
All right. So the children that are now, the schools that now, the children have to sit under trees and all of that because their schools have been affected. Is there a plan, again, from the assembly to fix this quickly, like in the near future? Or are we still waiting for funds from somewhere else to do that?
Sure. The Honorable MP and the MUSEC, I think they have put their heads together to ensure that all these things have been addressed completely, to ensure that the children are getting a conducive place to learn. Learning is the best option for all of us. If not because of learning, we cannot do anything. If you don't have education, you can't do anything. You don't know your right, your whatever. So education is everything development.
Mr. Bimbilla, when you say that the MP and MC have put their heads together, what do you mean? Are there any concrete details you can give us?
For now, I cannot give concrete details because when the issue happened and they have went around to do the assessment and go back to the drawing board, I was not part of the meeting. So if I'm going to say anything now, I'll be cooking stories, and which I don't want to do that.
All right, sir. Some of the residents have actually, sold their properties to renovate their homes. So is this true?
Yeah, it's true. And some people have also gone into loan, borrowing from others to ensure that they can able to put up their structures back to normal. Yeah, that is what is currently happening. Some people, their structure is not completely down. Part of it has been removed, and part is still there. So those people, they are going in for loans and go for those who are selling the material so that they can be in a contract with them so that they can give it to them on loan.
Right.
So that after they're getting the money, they can go and pay.
All right. So you also talked about, working together with NADMO and, the people in the community to make sure that you help the affected victims. But do you have a timeline of when all this will come together for these people to have back their lives? You have the timeline of when this help that you are gathering together with from NADMO, the NGOs, and, anyone?
Yes. The issue just happened just this day. So after the NADMO has gone around to do the assessment, it has now left with we have 3 assembly members who have been affected in our electoral area. So we want to have a meeting with the NADMO, the MP, so that we can sit down. After that, we can come out with a framework, time, so that we ensure that whatever that you are talking, it will work or it will yield the needed results.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a nice day.
We've been speaking
but we are still appealing to anybody in this country.
Okay.
Whether resources, money, clothes, or whatever, to ensure that our people are being redeemed back. We are appealing to them, especially government. We are appealing to them passionately, so that our people are able to get a very nice and a convenient place to sleep. Thank you, sir, and may God bless you.
All right. Okay, so that was Isa Al-Hassan Mubila. He is the assemblyman for the Kakuhi electoral area, of course, in Bimbilla, and the tragic situation that the people find themselves in needs all the help that we can give them. Central government, they're looking up to you, mentioning, you know, we're calling on government.
Yeah.
Of course, NADBO receives inflows from government, and so on. So everybody's really stuck until the help comes. Of course, he spoke about NGOs and philanthropic organizations, particularly those that work in the northern region and their core communities that they focus on are in the northern region. There's a lot of work to be done in the Bimbilla area, and so I think that the call is out there, and as many people as possible. The defense minister, who hails from Bimbilla, I'm putting this at your feet to consider, on your desk to consider, because 120 homes is a lot of homes.
It's a lot of homes.
You know, and 800 people plus have been affected, and all these people need to have respite as soon as possible. This is not like people who were living, let's say, by the seaside and the water has eroded, washed their houses away. This is different. You know, where you're living is pretty safe. There's no issue there. Then a freak storm comes, and suddenly 120 homes are gone. 800 lives are out there exposed to the rain and to the weather and the elements. So all those that have heard this story, whatever you can do to reach out to the people of Bimbilla, particularly the district, and then find out who the people who have been affected, and let's see what we can do to help them.
It's actually very sad. Like, and what actually made me a lot more sadder is the fact that they have to sell their properties just to build back their homes. I mean, we all know the times that we are living in right now. It's hard. It's so hard.
And
so
even when you're selling it, you're not going to sell it at premium price, so you're not going to get premium
and
for
it's just to get a roof over their head. And there are kids involved, there are mothers involved, there might even be pregnant women involved. And
no, there will be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a given, really. So, very unfortunate situation there. We do hope that the government takes this as seriously as we do here. And let's bring some respite to the people of Bimbilla as soon as possible.